So, lost in the radar of the tariff battle is a very bizarre update on Ryan Routh. Do you even remember who Ryan Routh is? I suspect if you're one of my beautiful, good smelling, smart viewers, you know who Ryan Routh is. He is the bizarro guy with ties to Ukraine that tried to remove President Trump from the planet. You might be wondering, what's been going on with that guy? Well, I think in the past couple of months, his brother or his son-in-law got caught with those photos on his hard drive, a common tactic of the CIA and FBI, allegedly. But also, you may have noticed, yesterday, Florida Attorney General announced that he was charging Ryan Routh for his crime. And you might think, wait a minute, didn't that happen like 6 months ago? Well, you're right. Why just now? What the heck's going on? We're going to look at that. We're going to look at some new information about him trying to go after Trump's plane and much more after a super quick word from this video sponsor, Private Internet Access. Shout out to this video sponsor, Private Internet Access. Look, if you aren't using a VPN yet, you're completely missing out, and Private Internet Access is the one I use on all of my devices. If you've been following the news, you see that censorship, websites, apps are getting shut down in certain countries, all sorts of craziness. Well, a VPN helps you never have to worry about that. Private Internet Access also protects you from the prying eyes of hackers, internet service providers, and others that can view your personal data. Perhaps also just as importantly, Private Internet Access allows you to access region-restricted content from all over the world. Streaming services like Netflix, Amazon Prime, and more have different library options based on where you're located, and some shows simply cannot be accessed if you're not in the target location. Happens to me all the time. Many sports events also have regional blackouts. Well, VPNs can be a convenient way to make sure you're getting the content that you're paying for. Private Internet Access also allows you to protect an unlimited amount of devices all at the same time, so your entire household with a single subscription. And I've been working with Private Internet Access so long that I have an absolutely massive discount available to my viewers. Link in the description below. Get Private Internet Access today using my link. Save huge, protect your computers, access all the content that you've been paying for, and ensure that your internet is never censored. All right, so if you don't have a VPN yet, make sure you get yours today. Got a great deal using my link in the description. Breaking: Florida Attorney General announces he's charging Ryan Routh for his attempt on President Trump's life. But what is going on here? Why hasn't he been charged? What is he just getting charged for now?
I'm Attorney General James Uthmeier. On September 15th, 2024, Ryan Routh attempted to assassinate then presidential candidate Donald J. Trump at the Trump International Golf Club in West Palm Beach. Shortly after the assassination attempt, Governor DeSantis signed an executive order directing the Office of Attorney General to work with our law enforcement partners and investigate Mr. Routh. After 206 days of stonewalling by the federal government that stemmed from days of
206 days. Why was the Biden administration trying to slow this down? That seems really weird. Like, why was the Biden administration trying to slow this down? I don't know. I'm not sure I understand why that might be. Does anybody else know why that might be? It seems very odd to me that they would be stonewalling this.
Of the Biden administration, I'm able to now announce that my office is charging Mr. Routh for the attempted first-degree murder of President Trump, as well as a charge for terrorism. My office, as well as our law enforcement partners, were met with major roadblocks in prosecuting this case during Biden's term. Biden and his attorney general sought to frustrate our efforts and block our investigation into the man who crossed into this state and attempted to commit political violence against a Florida resident. Thank God he was unsuccessful, and thank God we have Donald Trump as president again. The leadership of U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel was instrumental in preserving Florida's sovereign authority to do what is right and bring justice where it is due. We now have a federal government willing to work together to pursue justice. Attempting to take the life of a former president and a leading presidential candidate isn't just an attack on one man. This was a political attack against our Republican form of government and our shared American values. We cannot allow justice to be delayed or denied. And thanks to the president, our U.S. Attorney General,
The question is,
and
oh, sorry,
the
here,
FBI
let him finish.
director, we are moving forward in our pursuit. Our statewide prosecutors will work to hold this evil man accountable and keep Florida safe, strong, and free.
Boy, 200 days? Why? Why exactly? Were they ever going to charge him at all? Were they, if Kamala Harris had won, ask yourself, would they have ever charged Ryan Routh? Listen to this.
Florida is charging failed Trump assassin suspect Ryan Routh.
Look at him smiling in his mugshot, too.
With attempted first-degree murder and terrorism.
Dana Marie McNichol is live in Miami with the latest for us. Hey, Dana Marie.
Hey, Ainsley, good morning. Florida Attorney General James Uthmire says these charges of attempted murder and terrorism are a long time coming. He tells Fox News that Florida's investigation into Ryan Routh was delayed more than 200 days because of what he described as stonewalling by the Biden administration. Now, Uthmire says that Florida law enforcement, they had trouble even accessing the crime scene, and the Attorney General's office was met with major roadblocks in trying to prosecute this case. Here's what he told us.
We want a justice system that is willing to pursue justice no matter what party is in charge. And Joe Biden and the Democrats did everything they could to drag their feet and refuse to cooperate with the state of Florida. Under Attorney General Bondi and the Trump administration and our new FBI director, it's been a breath of fresh air, very different. They've been transparent, cooperative.
And Uthmire says this will be a collaborative investigation. The federal government, he says, has made their evidentiary folder available to his office, and they plan to do the same. He also mentioned that more evidence about the case will become public very shortly. Now, Routh is already facing a state charge for attempted felony murder related to a traffic accident that injured a 6-year-old little girl.
Oh, that too? Interesting.
After he fled the scene at Trump International Golf Club. Now, Uthmire also confirmed that case is still ongoing. And back out here live, guys, this federal case, the federal charges that Ryan Routh are facing will take precedent. So, of course, they will have to wait until that trial is over, scheduled to start in September, until the state of Florida can proceed with their trial.
Why? Why 200 days? Well, here's some very interesting information brought to you from Jack Posobiec that might also, maybe these ties to Ukraine were viewed as an issue by the Biden administration. Is it possible that maybe the Biden administration thought, oh boy, these ties to Ukraine are awfully inconvenient. They're awfully inconvenient.
In a filing last night in court down in the Federal District of Florida, Ryan Wesley Routh, the individual who was involved in the second assassination attempt on President Trump, was given a huge new piece of information. We've got now more evidence on his background, his dealings, and what exactly he was up to down there in the weeks and days prior to the assassination attempt on President Trump. Now, remember, this is the September 15th assassination attempt, not the Butler, Pennsylvania assassination attempt. This case has yet to actually go to trial. Tried to kill Trump on his golf course, but he was stopped. Secret Service fired shots at him. They missed, or perhaps were deflected by this rudimentary body armor that he had built up in a hide site. And then he vanishes, only later to be apprehended. What we do know about him was that he had extensive ties and travel within the country of Ukraine, and in fact participated in the Ukrainian international.
Yeah, his audio is very bad. I apologize for that, but this is the clip they uploaded.
National Volunteer Force. What was Routh doing in Ukraine? He was attempting to recruit individuals potentially from Afghanistan and other parts of the world, even Taiwan at one point he talked about, to bring them to the battlefield in Ukraine. We now know, and this is the biggest bombshell, that he attempted to contact a member of the Ukrainian military or someone associated with the Ukrainian military to purchase rocket-propelled grenades, RPGs, or Stinger missiles, known as an anti-aircraft missile. Now, what does this coincide with? Well, this time frame was back in August of 2024. What else did we hear going on in the fall, late summer and fall of 2024?
Somebody was going to target his plane.
Also heard those scares about President Trump's aircraft, Trump Force One. Members of Trump's campaign team were even using decoy planes during the campaign because they were worried about what? Anti-aircraft missiles. All of this leads to more questions as to who exactly was it that Routh was talking to? Who exactly was it that either didn't report this or put it back forward? And what did the U.S. government know prior to the assassination?
I mean, very, very, very interesting. Very suspicious. Why did the Biden administration stonewall for 200 days? What would have happened if Kamala Harris had won the election? Would this guy have ever been charged at the federal level? Why were they trying to hide his connections to the Ukrainian military? Because they knew it would look bad for President Biden. I mean, all of this stuff, I believe, they did stonewall to protect President Biden's reputation, to protect President Biden and potentially the candidate Kamala Harris. This is wild. I don't believe there's any chance whatsoever that Ryan Routh stands trial. You can take from that whatever you will. But this is very, very weird. And I'm not a big fan of it. You know, to me, if this trial actually ever happens, which I don't think he's making it to trial. That's just my opinion. I don't think this trial ever happens. But obviously, I hope it does. I don't know if we'll see anything. President Trump should be putting this guy in a holding cell in the White House and protecting him. That's what I think. We should be making sure that this guy makes it to trial and we find out everything we can about where he got money, how he got his Ukrainian military contacts, how did he figure out how to get to an RPG, all this kind of stuff. It's absolutely bonkers. I'm sure a lot of this evidence will probably get lost or misplaced, though. But, make sure you keep tuned in here. If you haven't yet, there's a follow button down below the video. Don't forget to do it, or a subscribe button. I know sometimes you have to make an account and people don't want to do that, but it helps immensely. I greatly appreciate it.